Hey guys, if you're looking for a quick, easy way to drop in some time-based measures or temporal calculations, as we like to call them, into your model, look no further. Let's get to it. All the files that we're going to be using today in this video are available on our GitHub. It'll be linked in the description below. You'll see it when you like and subscribe. The calendar table, the sales table that we're going to be using, as well as the temporal calculations or time-based measures, if you want to call them, and a bunch of other measures that you can take immediately and drop right into your current project and use today. Okay, here we've got a brand new Power BI desktop file, and let's get started. What we're going to do is we're going to just simply bring in our sales table, bring in our calendar, and then we're going to show you how to quickly drop in temporal calculations and a starter set of sales measure to kickstart your next project. All right, so the first thing we want to do is let's get over here and enter some data. Let's get that sales table in here. All right, we are going to grab the sales table that is here off the GitHub. Let's go grab it. It's going to be here in the living demo files, and we're going to grab the sales 20 year plus here. Grab that guy. Paste that in. All right, next thing we need is a calendar. Okay, let's grab that. Calendar is going to be up a directory in the common folder. Right here, common files, calendar. And the calendar's got a new feature in it. You can now set the fiscal start month in here now. So if your fiscal start date is not in January, if it's in April, July, or October, you can set that in here, and then all of the fiscal dates down below are going to be adjusted for that. Now, the calculations that we're using are all based on fiscal dates, but if you want to have another set of temporal calculations that's based only on the calendar date, that's also here on the repository in the common file as well. You'll find that right next to the fiscal version of that. All right, let's grab our calendar here and get this in. We're going to assume that the fiscal start date is January, so we're going to leave that alone. By default, the source here is going to be the sales table. When you're dropping this into your project, make sure you change that to be whatever fact table that you want to ensure that you've got a calendar date coverage for. Put in the table name here and the column name here as well, and hit done on that, and that'll take a moment to populate. While that is okay, it's done already. Great. All right, so let's save and apply that. While that's cooking, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to head out here, and we've got a sales temporal starter measure right here, and also our temporal fiscal calculations. All right, we're going to start with the temporal fiscal calculations here, and we're going to literally just drop this right into our project. I'm going to show you how to do that. So go ahead and grab this here. Get this in your Notepad++ because you're going to need to edit this instance ID before you paste it in. So go ahead and grab that. Also, once you get your first tables in here, once you put your calendar in with your fact table, whether it's sales or something else, just make sure that you've got the relationship here between the date keys, okay? Otherwise, none of this stuff is going to work properly. Okay, with that in place, the next thing we want to do is we want to go to External Tools and Tabular Editor 3. All right, here we go. Now, because we are moving to calculation groups here, one of the things that you need to do is you need to upgrade your model here. So click on the model here, go down here to where it says discourage implicit measures right here, and change that to true. There we go. Important thing to note here. All right, and then save that. All right, now we have copied our temporal fiscal calculations over from the repository. We've got that on our clipboard now in Notepad++. Let's take a look at that right here. So we need to change this instance ID up here because this is going to be different each time you use Tabular Editor 3. This number is going to change slightly here. So let's go. I'll show you an easy way to get the correct one. So go down to any of your tables here, grab any measure or column, copy that. You can right click and copy, or you can do Control-C. And what you want to do is just paste that into your notepad here and grab this instance ID line right here. You can see that. You can see this number is different than the one we grabbed off of the repository here. Then what you want to do is just go and replace that line right there so that you've got the correct instance ID. Now all you need to do is select all of the temporal fiscal calculations JSON, grab that all, Control-C, go back over here to your tables and paste it right in. And there you go. Look at that. Now you have got all of your calculation items here. You got your month to date, quarter to date, year to date, prior month to date, prior quarter to date, rolling 12, and then periods 1 through, in case you're doing fiscal through April, and then you can make more of these if you want to. It's pretty simple here to copy these. If like for instance, if your fiscal period is going through October, you're going to need a few more of these. So if you do want the period specific measures, anyway, very simple stuff to work with. That's the great thing about these temporal calculations. We're going to get into these in a minute. I'm going to show you some great uses for these. But let's get now back to our sales table down below here. And what we want to do is we want to drop in all of our jumpstart measures here so we've got something to work with. One of the things when you're building your models, if you're very consistent with your underlying naming structure, most of the time you'll be able to just paste in bulk your measures in the way that I'm showing you in this video. So let's get over here to back over to GitHub here. Let's go over to Common Files and let's grab the Sales Temporal Starter Measures here. Let's grab that. Let's get that on our clipboard over here. And into Notepad++. And just like we did with the temporal fiscal calculations, we need to go here and update the instance ID here as well, and then copy all of those and paste them right here. And now what you've got is a ton of measures here that are ready to go. Now, all of our measure sets are based on an initial input calculation. In this particular case, we're just doing a SUMX of the order quantity column times the sales amount column. Now, I recommend that you try to keep these column names here consistent between your clients and your models. It just makes it so much easier when you paste this in. It's less things you have to go back and edit. One way is to, if you're dealing with a hosted environment where you've got multiple clients, you can create a database that relates their their source, fact and dimension column names to whatever the consistent name that you have in the models that you're delivering. Lots of different ways to do that, but the more consistent you are between your models, the quicker and easier it is for you to put actionable data in front of your clients. So now that we've got this pasted in here, let's save this and let's go back over to Power BI and take a look at how this works. Okay, I'm going to view hidden here because this temporal scope here is hidden. And let me show you how temporal scope by itself will work with any of your existing measures. So what we'll do here, let's just grab a calendar date here into a matrix, and let's go down and grab from sales. Let's just take our input measure down here, which is going to be just that calculation we were looking at here. It's just basically the order to quantity times the order amount. Very basic sum x there. Let's take that and grab that into our values right here. And now let me show you the power of having these temporal fiscal calculations here. So if I take this temporal scope here and I drop it into the columns here, I get every single one of those right here. And I can, I can widen this up and I can get my any version of these here available. So most of the time, you're not going to need all these, but you may want something like inception to date, or you may want year over year, or you may want one of these in particular that quarter to date and prior quarter to date or month to date. That's a pretty common one. To do that, you can go over here and you can filter these out. Grab, let's say, month to date, and let's get prior year month to date. How's that? Get those two in there. Prior month to date. There we go. That's what we want. All right. Okay, great. Now we've got some, this is just one way to use these temporal measures now to get, immediate time-based measures or temporal calculations in front of your clients without having to make a bunch of measures. Now, the other thing that you can do is once you have all of these temporal calculations in your model, it's very easy to go and create measures. It's simply a matter of referring to that initial input measure we made, and then just adding the filter of whatever the temporal scope is that's in the temporal calculation set. And you can see, going down and looking at these measures, really the only thing difference between them is going to be that temporal scope. So pretty simple stuff here. Let me show you that that in action here. Let's just grab another. Start with calendar date again. And in this particular case, let's just grab year and month here. And here, let's grab from our sales. Let's get our current here so we know what the monthly was. And then let's do prior period here. That's a good one. And then versus prior period. Okay, so now what we see here is we see here now our periods and our prior periods, and then the difference, the rolling difference now of the prior periods as a percentage. So anyway, just as we drop these in here so easily from your from your Notepad++. It's very easy to edit these in bulk and change sales extended to cost extended to profit, anything you want. You can take these en masse and just manipulate them, put them right back into your project, and just have a ton of measures out there, have actionable data in front of your clients just right away. So hope you liked this video. If you want to see more like it, or if you have questions or suggestions, put them in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and have a great day.